Well, we are supposed to be going that way, but there's a river coming over the road and I don't know whether we can cross. I think it's quite deep, isn't it?
It's quite fast flowing to me as well. John is determined, so he's going to give it a go. Let's see how waterproof that he's feeling today.
We are the Newbys. I'm Tara and this is John, and this is our little one who's currently in production. We spent most of 2020 on the road, starting the year off by getting married in Antarctica. Then COVID hit and travel got tricky, so we built a van and explored 23 European countries before COVID lockdowns finally caught up with us. With a few months left to wait until our little explorer joins us, it seemed like an excellent idea to head off to Zimbabwe, Africa, to walk with rhino and elephants. 2020 was epic, and we expect 2021 to be even more exciting. Our journey is just beginning, so do join us. Hit like, please subscribe and turn on notifications. We'd love to have you with us.
I nearly got swept away. So we are home in a very, very chilly England, and home for us in England is the very beautiful Cotswolds.
It is freezing cold this morning, but we are heading out on an adventure nevertheless. The sun is going to shine and we're excited for the day.
So if 2020 taught the world one thing, it was to appreciate stuff that's right on your doorstep. So we are super excited to visit a couple of places that I've never been to, one that John's never been to, and they kind of feel like little Cotswold secrets.
Yeah, definitely, I'd say hidden secrets of the Cotswolds, and I'd be surprised if anybody out there's ever really been to these places. For example, we're heading to a church that if you didn't know this doorway actually existed in that church, you would never find it.
It's been quite an inspirational little doorway in its time though, so I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, stick around to the end of the video where we will be talking a little bit about the exciting few weeks ahead. Tara is quite literally massive right now, and
so nice.
Very shortly there's going to be a little one arriving on our well, there's going to be a little one arriving.
It's a beautiful day.
Wonderful. It is a very cold day.
Watch this. I didn't know that Chris was going to get out of the car park.
I don't know whether he will either.
Ooh, it is snippy. Right, come on then, let's go.
Oh, it's a bit different from van life Greece, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Didn't have to scrape any ice off the window.
I think even Cotty's a bit shocked.
Fresh and sunny day today.
It is a fresh and sunny day. It's absolutely beautiful. The hills of the Cotswolds are slowly starting to light up. I think we've got to go on an adventure.
Let's go on an adventure.
I don't think we can drive yet, darling. Let's get this up, shall we?
Yeah. It's definitely one of those situations where you just sort of lean over the front of the steering wheel and peer through a small gap at the very bottom of the windscreen. There's enough clear patches. Look at how beautiful the day is.
It is an absolutely stunning day.
We are heading across the Cotswolds to the Rollright stones, which are some pagan stones. There's a lovely story behind it. I'm sure Tara will be filling us all in about that a little bit later. But I remember coming here when I was a kid. It's quite a popular place to come now, but when I was a kid there were just a bunch of stones in the middle of a field that my dad used to take me to, that we'd run around and play on and climb on and do all sorts of stuff that you're probably not supposed to do anymore. Beautiful day.
Oh man, these blue sky days in the Cotswolds are hard to beat, even if it is flipping cold. Man, what a morning, look at it.
are the Rollright stones, and they are fantastic. Like I said, my dad used to bring me here all the time when I was a kid, and the idea is to count the stones and see how many there are, and I've never managed to get the same number ever.
The legend behind the stones is that there was an ancient king who was marching his army across England, and he came upon a witch. And she said, if you can take 7 more steps and see the village of Long Compton, you will become the King of England. On his 7th step, an embankment rose up in front of him, and he couldn't see the village of Long Compton, so she turned them all to stone. And these are his soldiers, and she said that if anybody could count the number of soldiers here and get it right 3 times, they would get their heart's desire.
What would you want?
You, darling.
See, isn't she good? She's great, isn't she? So those behind us, they're the soldiers, I think, and the knights, the whispering knights, they're just over there. We're going to have a look at them now. And then on the other side of the road is the king and the infamous embankment, little mound that the witch put up so that he couldn't see Long Compton.
Exactly. And the witch apparently became an elm tree in the hedge, and if you cut her, you too will turn to stone.
So careful with those elm trees.
Yep.
How many did you count?
71.
71 this time.
Yeah.
I got 76.
Yeah, you see? Impossible.
So my darling, we are about to get to the Whispering Knights.
Tell me, love, why are they whispering?
They're whispering because, you know, if they talk loudly, the witch might find them.
I don't think that's the true story, is it?
I don't know.
So these Whispering Knight stones is actually a burial chamber, which dates back to around 3800 BC and is something that is also seen in places like Cornwall, Wales and Ireland. Legend has it that these stones go down to the brook in the valley to drink on New Year's Day, or when the bells of Long Compton are heard.
Long Compton, is that the place where
That's the place the king was supposed to have seen.
Really?
Yeah.
That Long Compton place sounds a bit dodgy to me.
But the main legend is that these stones were knights who were plotting against their king before the witch turned them into stone.
Well, good for the witch.
Good for the witch.
Let's go and have a look at the king now on the other side of the road.
Surely go and see the king.
Yeah, see that hill as well that he couldn't get over.
Yep. It is a beautiful view from over there, I know it.
You can see Long Compton, but the king couldn't.
Not the most beautiful view. I think it's a real shame the king never got to see it.
So this is Lechlade, and when I was a kid, I jumped off of this bridge into the Thames. That's the River Thames down there.
Oh wow, look at that.
Swans are happy.
Swans are delighted. So this white horse, I had no idea, is 3,000 years old. And it's carved into the mountainside in a really unusual style because it's almost like a stencil. There's gaps between the kind of legs and the body, carved out of chalk. And legend has it that it goes down into the valley once a year to graze, but it's always back in the morning where it should
That's
be.
great.
And it likes to go down to the smithy, which is just nearby, to go and get a fresh set of horseshoes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
What's also cool is, I don't know if you can see, but that little hillock over there is called Dragon's Hill.
Yeah.
That is supposedly where St. George fought and slayed the ferocious dragon. And because the dragon's blood spilt on top of that hill, grass has never grown there to this day.
That's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. It is a little bit of a climb from the car park to the White Horse, but it's definitely worth walking up here.
The view is amazing.
Exactly, the view is pretty spectacular. Pretty nice place to walk a dog too, but there are signs everywhere that say keep the dogs on a leash because there are sheep. Oh, it is cold, isn't it? Beautiful place to come and have a view of it. This is Huffington Castle. It was built 300 BC, so 2,300 years ago. That's a blooming long time. And of course, there isn't very much of it left now. Just some embankments. Great place though to have a castle. High up on a flat plateau with views for hundreds of miles all around. Well, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? I, for one, am absolutely freezing now. So let's go and have a hot drink at Cotty.
Let's have some mulled wine, shall we?
Let's have some mulled wine.
Ready.
I think it's ready too. That was a cold walk, and this mulled wine is gonna hit the spot. That was a really nice way to start the day. It is really great to be back in Cotty.
The Huffington White Horse is a lovely place to come for a walk. The views are incredible, and especially on a day like today, you can see for up to 35 miles from here when it's clear.
Absolutely, it's true. And I guess probably if you wanted to, you could make that a good hour or two's worth of walk.
Yeah, bit of climbing, bit of just wandering, lots of sheep.
My personal favourite was the castle.
Huh.
That wasn't really a castle.
No.
I can't hold the camera anymore, darling.
Oh wow, love, look at your hands.
What's the plan next then, darling?
So we're off to Stowe to go and see St Edward's Church. John discovered that local legend reckons that it's the place that Tolkien went. One particular door into the church has got 2 yew trees on either side of the door, is what inspired Tolkien to create the doors of Durin and the little doors for the hobbits in The Lord of the Rings.
I'm pretty excited to go and have a look at it. Also, Stowe is a very, very pretty town. We can have a bit of a look around that too.
So this is Stowe, and it really is one of the prettiest villages.
This is claimed to be the oldest pub in England. The timbers have been carbon dated to the 10th century. It was originally built as a hospice to accommodate pilgrims, and inside there are witch marks etched into the 16th century fireplace, which were there to ward off evil spirits.
Witch marks.
Witch marks.
Hey, the Rollright stones would love that.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Wonder whether it's the same witch.
Ooh.
Tara's run off ahead of me. She's desperate for a cinnamon roll. I think it must just be a pregnancy thing. Hopefully she's going to get me a coffee too. What have you got?
I have got coffee for you, a hot chocolate for me, and after all that they didn't have cinnamon buns,
Oh no.
so you got a panel raisin because I'd already paid for it.
Okay, all right.
And you know how much I love raisins.
Walking around these Cotswold villages is quite good fun during COVID, especially because there are hardly any tourists here. In fact, nobody. Whereas normally this place would be absolutely chock-a-block filled with some tourists just wandering around having a look at the place. So we've almost got it to ourselves again. Kind of like the Acropolis.
Kind of like the Acropolis.
But just on our doorstep. So it's really nice to have this opportunity to wander around.
Very, very peaceful.
Yeah, and to be able to wander around a local village and just kind of have it like the olden days it would have been, just quiet with local people in.
Yeah, nice.
That's so cool.
It's a beautiful place. Let me tell you, love, one thing I love about doing this project is it makes us find things like this that we maybe ordinarily wouldn't have done.
Yeah, that's true. It's right on our doorstep, and I never even knew that this doorway existed.
It's literally 15 minutes from our house, and that was just a nice way for us to get out today, come and do our daily exercise and see something new. I love it.
So apparently those trees can live for over 3,000 years. That is amazing.
That is remarkable. And they regenerate from dead wood.
Wonder how old these ones are.
I wonder if somebody's dated them. We'll have to look it up.
That would be interesting to find out. If anybody knows, let us know.
So this little section from Stowe is a sneak peek of what is on offer in the Cotswolds. But we are now going into lockdown, so we're going to have to stay at home for a little bit. But we're super excited to explore even further when the baby comes.
These 3 secret places in the Cotswolds that we've found and discovered and really enjoyed exploring. We hope and would definitely say to you, head on out and have a look around.
Yeah, for sure. So the next couple of weeks will be something a little bit different, but do stay tuned because we've got things in store for you. Some of it's pretty flipping epic.
We really do.